Before you start any plumbing job, make sure that you're comfortable and make sure you don't make no mistakes. If you're not comfortable with working with water, I'd advise you to call a professional or take your time and be smart about everything. So I have the job for today is a whistling toilet. So I know what it is, but I'm gonna show everybody how to fix it. So see, right now it's okay until the water starts running. And what happens is the washer in here wears down and then you have a whistling problem. I'll show you. Flush the toilet. See the water comes on and it starts to whistle. And that's what happens when after a while, look, you see it's old and everything. But normally I would replace everything. But in this case, everything looks good except for this. So I'm gonna cut off the water. Right down here. Normally I don't like to use these, but I'm gonna just use it. Then, because it's old, you know. So just be careful, because these have rubber washers as well. So if you squeeze it too tight, just kind of snug it closed, because if you squeeze it too tightly, when you open it back up, you could rip up that washer in there, and then this could possibly start leaking. That's why I don't use these. But for today, I just want to get this job over with, and it looks pretty new, so I can't complain. So I'm gonna just reuse it. And so what I'm gonna do now is there's a towel right here. So I need to flush this, make sure all the water's out, you know? So I need to go get my bucket, so when I take this off, all the water's gonna wanna leak out. So when I get my bucket, I'll show you the new piece that I'm using, and I'll be back. The tools and materials that I'm using for this job is this Home Depot bucket. I just cut it in half. It's really convenient. You know, sometimes I have a bigger bucket and fill this up and dump it in a bigger bucket. It gets into most places. And this, I could use a monkey wrench as well, but I mean a crescent wrench, and I have them, but I like these adjustable wrenches. And you're gonna need this to change. I like to change it, but in this case, it's the whole shut-off valve is the hose, so I won't be using this. So, and this right here, this is what I bought. The kit. It has this, just a pump, you know, it needs a new pump, and just the washer is wearing down, and I'm just gonna replace the plunger as well. It's Corky, you know, it's that number, so you can, if you wanna use it, and this is what it is, universal. So I got the bucket. Now, this right here, I'm gonna untighten this. Just like that. And see how it wants to drip. It's dripping, so, you know, this is, see, this is fixed. So it's gonna be hard to get it. So I have to unplug that. I'll figure out a way to unplug it, move this over, and then they'll be draining it out, and I'll get back. So I got it undone. See, it doesn't completely stop, but it stopped. And this half bucket really helps. But be careful, if you ever see this, just bend it ever so slightly, because you know how a paper clip, you bend it back and forth and the heat breaks it, and you do not want this to break because this is attached to that. It's all one piece, and it's gonna be, you have to replace this, and I do not want to do that. So I undid that. This is just hand tightened, by the way, it's plastic. Then you want to undo this, and then all the water wants to come out, so you got to figure out a way to catch this water and that water. So it should just fall right in the bucket. I could squeeze it back there. And then I'm gonna take this out, and then I'll show you after I untighten that, the other piece is gonna just come and pull it right out. So the bucket's not catching my water, and it's going in the towel, and I don't trust the towel. So what I'm doing is, it's gonna be a slow process, but I'm trying to hold it and direct the water with my hand. And it's working, but it's slow process, and I'm trying to wiggle this, you know, that way more water comes out. But I flushed most of the water out. You can use a sponge. I have a sponge in the car, but sometimes you don't have the right tools, you know, and you just need to make it work for yourself. So what ended up happening is, I realized that this water was coming out slower than this water. So I decided to let this drip right on here, because it was making a bigger mess, the water coming out of here. So I caught it all, and now I'm just gonna put the bucket back under this to catch this again. You know, sometimes, you know, you don't need to have everything to make something work. So now this is out. You know, unscrewed that on the bottom. So it looks pretty new. See, that washer's nice and healthy still. So yeah, everything else is good. You know, so I'm gonna throw this away. And this one, I got the new one now. So it's the same thing. And this one, once you put it in, you can turn it. You know, you turn it, push it down and turn it, and you can raise it. You can do it also with this as well. Some of them have that. If you buy the whole kit together, you can raise this and you can raise that. But in that case, it's an older one, so it's fixed. So you're just gonna set this level a little bit below that, so the water don't go in the tube and it running. And your toilet will be running. You'll be wasting water, and I don't know if you can hear your toilet at night, but it get annoying. So basically, you just put it in like that. The same way you took the other one out. First of all, make sure this is clean, so the washer can seat correctly. So you want to try to, as clean as you can get it. Make sure there's no rocks, really. Just put this in like that, and I'm just going to reverse the process. I got this right here, so I'm just going to screw that on and make it tight. Make it tight, you know, and then it's as simple as that, really. Make that tight. Make sure this is straight the way you want it. I normally just finger tight these. Well, actually, I'm lying. I'd like to finger tight them, you know, but I'm just thinking maybe they'll come out. You know, it's plastic, so you can't tighten them that much. But finger tighten it as much as you can, and then take the pliers that I have and turn it a quarter of a turn just to snug it up. Because if you do more than that, you'll possibly break some of the threads. It is plastic, but I just want it as tight as I can get it, you know, like perfect. That's just who I am. And for the toilet, the bolt's so big, you know. It's, I never do it with that one. I don't know why. I do it with that one. Just because, like, I guess water's, I don't know. That's just the way I do it. And it's always worked for me. And I never get people calling me back. But let me do that. And then I'll put this on. I'll just slide this in. I'll probably just use the same washer. I mean, I don't have no other washers. But it should be good. It should go in perfectly the way it's supposed to. So, yeah, pretty much. And then I'll show you the after picture. So let me tighten this up. Anyway, that is done. I turned it like a full turn. I didn't turn it a quarter turn. Just tight to your knowledge. So I want to just put this back in because maybe some people would like to see me put this back in. So ever so nicely, you don't want to bend it, and just to bend it, you know, you don't want to get out of hand. Just go like that and make sure that it's straight. You know, since this is like, this washer is used washer, I might just take the wrench and just go like that and just go like this. One, you know, I'll turn this back on. There's no leaking. That's good. You know, you don't want to be careful not to crack this. That's why I'm so gentle with it. But we'll see if it leaks. Here we go. See, I push down and I turn, and I can come up. I can raise it up. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you push down again, and you just catch it. There you go. So, you put the hose on it, like that. And then, what you want to do is put this on here. And this hose is what fills up this. If you don't have this in here and it's like that, I had somebody call me and say that my toilet tank level or my toilet bowl level wouldn't go to where it's supposed to go, and this was backwards. It was spraying out here instead of spraying in here. So you have to have it spraying in here like that. So you flush it. And there's no more squealing, you know? And I have this anyway. See, that is like getting to the point where, see, it's coming off. These are cheap like that, so I'll just pop this off. Oh, it's really gummy too. Look how gummy it is. It's really coming off. So this is the first thing that really goes up. So, you know, you can always just check this and make sure that it's good. Then this is like, this is good. It's in there. I mean, they're gonna call me back probably later to replace everything else. But I'm not doing that right now. And then you just take the new one. Just take the new one. This is the new one with the new, you know, and just hook it up to the way you desire it. And just pop it on. And just like that, it's that easy. And you got a new one. Now all you want to do is take this, see how it's filling up now? It's filling up now. So all you got to do is take this chain off and hook it up just like that with the other chain, the same way. Then I'll be back. I'll show you what I did. So, as you can see what I did here, I took the old one off and put the new one in, and I adjusted the chain. Maybe I could have adjusted the chain a little bit more shorter, because sometimes if the chain is adjusted wrong, then you'll go flush it and the chain will get caught under the red piece and it will run forever. So make sure you adjust the chain perfect. So, and that's it. It was whistling, just change that out and stop whistling. I just figured I'd do that too. Mine as well. And that's it. No leaking. I don't like using the same washer, but in this case, I had no choice. So, but there's no leaking. Yeah, turn up the water pressure. There you go. Let's see if it starts leaking. Let it fill all the way up. Let's see if it continues to leak. Because once it fills up, the thing stops. You heard it stop. The water pressure stops, and then there's water pressure in here. So that's why I turn it a quarter of a turn at least. But you don't want to break the threads as well. That's what the washer's for. So, you know, a lot of these new fittings, they don't require, what is it, plumber's tape, you know, because of the washer and everything. But yeah, it's in there. You know, maybe I could have, maybe I'll try to put the washer on a little bit better, because it seems like it's seated sideways right here, and it might start leaking. But yeah, and that's it. If you got a squeaking toilet, that's how you fix it, you know.